Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to tell you a simple but powerful story about a lonely man. This story will teach us about life, loneliness, hope, and human connection. There was once a man named Daniel. Daniel lived in a small apartment in a big city. Every morning, he woke up at the same time, made a cup of coffee, and looked out of his window. He watched people walking on the street. Some were going to work, some were laughing with friends, and some were busy on their phones. But Daniel was always alone. Daniel worked in an office. He had a stable job and earned enough money to live comfortably. But he did not have close friends. At work, he spoke only when necessary. He finished his tasks quietly and returned home without talking much to anyone. His co-workers knew him, but no one really knew him. When Daniel was younger, his life was different. He had dreams, close friends, and many plans for the future. But as years passed, people moved away, friendships became weak, and life became busy. Slowly, he stopped calling people. Slowly, people stopped calling him. Without realizing it, he became lonely. Loneliness is a strange feeling. You can be surrounded by thousands of people and still feel alone. Daniel felt this every day. In the evening, he sat on his couch and watched television, not because he enjoyed it, but because he did not like the silence. Silence reminded him that he had no one to talk to. Sometimes he checked his phone, hoping to see a message. But there were only work emails and advertisements. On weekends, the loneliness felt even heavier. While others met friends or spent time with family, Daniel stayed inside. He told himself he was tired. But the truth was, he did not know who to call. One day, something small changed his life. It was a rainy evening. Daniel was returning home from work when he saw an old man sitting alone at a bus stop. The old man looked tired and sad. For a moment, Daniel felt something familiar. He saw his own loneliness in that man's eyes. Daniel wanted to walk away like always. But this time, he did not. He sat next to the old man and simply said, "Hello." The old man looked surprised but smiled. They started talking. The conversation was simple. They talked about the weather, about the city, and about life. But for Daniel, it felt special. For the first time in a long time, he felt heard. The old man told Daniel that his children lived far away and rarely visited him. He said loneliness was the hardest part of growing old. Daniel listened carefully. That night, Daniel realized something important. He was not the only lonely person in the world. After that day, Daniel decided to make small changes. He started saying good morning to his co-workers. At first, it felt uncomfortable. Some people were surprised. But slowly, they began to respond warmly. He asked one colleague to join him for coffee during lunch break. It was a small step, but it mattered. Daniel also started calling an old friend he had not spoken to in years. He felt nervous before making the call. But when his friend answered, they talked for almost an hour. They laughed about old memories. Daniel understood that sometimes pride and fear stop us from reconnecting. Loneliness does not disappear in one day. It takes time and courage. Daniel still had quiet evenings, but now he used them differently. Instead of watching television for hours, he started reading books and going for evening walks. During his walks, he smiled at people. Some smiled back. Months passed. Daniel's life was not perfect, but it was no longer empty. He had a few friends at work. He sometimes met his neighbor for tea. He visited the old man at the bus stop from time to time. Slowly, his world became warmer. The most important lesson Daniel learned was this: loneliness is not a weakness. It is a human feeling. But staying silent and doing nothing makes it stronger. One small action can change everything. One hello can open a new door. Many people in this world feel lonely, even if they look happy outside. Sometimes all they need is someone to listen. Sometimes you are waiting for someone to talk to you, while someone else is waiting for you to talk first. Daniel understood that connection begins with courage. If you feel lonely, try to take one small step today. Call someone. Send a message. Join a class. Help someone. Even a simple smile can create a connection. In the end, Daniel was still the same man living in the same city. But inside, he was different. He was no longer controlled by loneliness. He chose to reach out instead of hiding. And that choice changed his life. This story teaches us that we are not alone in our loneliness. There are many people who feel the same way. If we open our hearts and take small steps, we can build meaningful connections. Thank you for listening to this story. If you liked it, please like and subscribe to the channel for more simple English stories that help you improve your listening and understanding.